Howdy, Beeflowbard here, and welcome. Just kind of scrolling through, taking a look at what I'm doing here. Working on a zombie game project that was for somebody else, and, well, they're being distant again, so you know what, screw it. I'm just going to keep fiddling around. The basic concept being, zombies versus the living. So the shooting portion is just temporary for testing. Essentially what I'm doing is setting up a system to where it will be the live versus the zombies, and using conventional weapons. If you kill a zombie, it's still a zombie. If it's dead, it's still dead. But the whole concept here is to change it up a little bit to where if you're the living, instead of you using conventional weapons to kill them and destroy them, you're actually using a cure mechanism to where you can actually cure them instead of killing them. So, if you've got multiples, like, I'll just grab home cheese here and replicate or duplicate him. So you put 3 of them in here. They see you, they come after you, then it's going to be multiplayer. I've got to change the modes here. I'll create the human player and the zombie player. The zombies naturally are just using melee as their only attack, and they walk a little bit slower. Humans can move around. Of course, they're faster, and what they can do is they can apply the cure, and whenever that zombie falls over, it will then become a living. Yeesh. Yeah, got to work on some of the collision aspects here. Poor bastard just got launched into space. So, yeah, and that's the whole thing here, is creating humans versus zombies. And no real killing. It's, in essence, the zombies are trying to convert any of the living into zombies, and the living are trying to convert the zombies into the living. So, you're not actually killing anything, you're just converting to your side. It's kind of like capture the flag, but you're trying to capture the souls. So I'm going to go through and create, I got the player base. And what I need to do is basically the system that I've got here. Zombie base, what the hell was I doing here? Death and revive. Yeah, that was just something I was testing out here. So, well, doing the replication on everything so that this all works. I want to get the basic shooting system down, or the basic attack system down. Right now it's this shooting, and that's going to have to go. So I can just press a key right now and just kill them. And then whenever they respawn, and we want them to come back as humans instead of as zombies. So I need to look at a mechanism for that. So we've got to have a player, and we got to have a zombie base. So if I duplicate this and just call this my zombie base, and now I can start to differentiate the 2 different attack styles. And we don't need this stuff. That can go. I've already got the basic view chain stuff there. The attack mechanism will change. It needs to be a melee base versus ranged attack base. I still need to fix the camera system. I need to figure out what I'm going to do for cameras. I've got it attached to the head, and it works. little bobbly at times, but whatever. Let's see here. We have the biker and the zombie biker. Compile and save. So now we have this guy is that. And upon death. We need the death sequence stuff. So we'll come back to this. We'll leave this as a shooting system for now. Come in here and reduce the range to 500. Get it nice and short. And where is my health systems? Do I already have health in here? Startup, escape menu, gamepad, mouse, jump. I don't see it. So you need to create a health system here. So event any damage. And let's run on server event. So I'm going to have to probably look into replicating some of this stuff here. Let's get our health. Set health. So we'll do health minus, or float minus float. Been sick for a couple days now, which is nothing new, but yeah, let's see, we gotta have death is dead. So I have not been able to sleep, and that's been affecting quite a bit of my life. It's replicated for sure. So we need to do less than or equal to 0. And if that are the case, then we'll set up our death function. So let's create a custom event. And this is something we're definitely going to have to replicate. We'll run that as multicast and reliable because it needs to be 100% all the time, and then I'll try to get this replicated working right off the bat here. Still have to refine things, I'm pretty sure, but first we need to do is set is dead to true. Oh, would you frickin' connect? So, yeah, we'll set is dead to true in our death event. So, true is death. And I will come back and change that because I need that to be the server version. So, let's actually dump that. Custom event. Server death. And this needs to be multicast death. And we'll do switch has authority and multicast death. Then from up here we can do server death. Okay, so to finish out the death sequence here, set is dead to true should then trigger the animation blueprint. Yep, so it's dead meat, that's to zombie base. Cast 2 zombie base. Ooh, already have that in there. New, got to get rid of that. Gotta get rid of that guy. Shit. Yeah, force delete. Fuck. That's gonna screw up a lot of shit. It's the same damn name, you piece of shit. I'm just gonna go back and redo this all over again. Cast 2 zombie base. It's the exact same frickin' name as what it was already plugged in here. So is dead. So I have to plug in all the same thing all over again. Is zombie. I can't use those right now because they were deleted. So this is just going to handle the death animation sequence. And yeah, that's fine, but player base needs to have, yeah, is dead, question mark. And that's going to be replicated. And that's got to be in the player stats. Alright. What? What do you not like now? Well, I don't need you anyway. Kiss my ass. There. I'll fix the player death here in a minute. So is dead. So basically doing the same damn thing as I got here below. Probably should have just done a cast 2 character on this instead. So yeah, that should be good now. Alright, so how the hell are we doing? So we are dead, and at this point I need to set up teams in the zombie base. I'm just thinking here is in fact could probably do all this in just player base, because the player itself will either be a player or a zombie. And if they get attacked and they become a zombie, then we have to change the skeletal mesh. So let's actually go through and fix the player. Get one of them working, then we'll go from there. Actually, no, let's go back to, and I deleted my, shit. Let's do this. Force delete. Go back to my animation blueprint. And let's delete that section for now. We'll come back to that in just a minute. I have to basically go back and redo everything that I just undid. I don't need this. I don't need that there, because the animation blueprints can be the same between players and otherwise, so that should actually be here. Which is probably going to screw even more shit up because of redirectors and everything else. And yeah, see, I love whenever you change direction on what you're doing. Yeah, mesh needs to go back to characters. And I don't need the blueprints folder. So I can get rid of that whole frickin' zombie folder. Fun. Alright, so don't need that. So I can delete that. Temp. Yeah, that whole thriller animation sequence is, yeah. I need to get rid of that. Well, I'm not going to get rid of it just yet. Because I created montages based off of it and retargeted it, and yeah. Get some other animations, it's fine. So let's actually go in here to our blueprints, and player base is just going to be the player. And at this point, inside the player stats is zombie question mark. So compost and save. By default, no, you are not a zombie. So let's change that to player stats. And let's look at the event any damage. And let's rebuild that. And we will get health, set health. We'll need a branch. And do some math. Clean it up just a moment. No, asshole. Go over there. So, we're back to this, and we're checking to see if our health, when we get damage, we're adjusting our damage to be accordingly. Then we'll do float is less than or equal to 0. Branch. If so, that's where we're going to do our death. So, at this part, we need to ask if it's that true, we need to run another branch and ask if we're a zombie or not. So, if we die, essentially this is what happens when we die, then we need to, if we are a zombie, we need to become human. Or if we are a zombie, if we're not a zombie, then we become a zombie. So we need basically two different death sequences here. So let's start off with custom event, multicast, turn zombie. multicast, and reliable, because we're changing our actual skeletal mesh. And we're going to start by default, since we are the tourist. We will get a reference to our mesh. Well, first off, we're going to need to do set is dead to true, because we need to initiate the death animation. And then we need to perform our animation. Let's delay for 3 seconds. And then get our mesh. Set skeletal mesh. To zombie. Okay, so when we die as a human, we come back as a zombie, and then we need to set our health back to 100. And then we need to set is dead to false. And at some point we'll change it to where you actually teleport to a spawn location. But for now I just want to convert from one to the next. So with the multicast turn to zombie, and I'm sure I'm going to come back to this and add more stuff to it. I'm going to do custom event. Server turn zombie, run on server, reliable, and that is not what the hell I wanted. Switch of authority, respect my authority. How the hell is everybody's? Alright, so that will take care of that. So if, are we a zombie? Yes, then we'll turn human. If not, then we're going to turn zombie. And we'll go ahead and build the turn living, I guess. Or turn, I don't know, alive. Multicast turn alive. Multicast reliable, and then basically you need to copy the same setup right here. And change our model back. Tourists. So at this point we're turning back alive again, and let's go ahead and do custom turn alive, run on server, reliable, because we are changing meshes at this point. Switch has authority. And multicast turn alive. So back up here again, and if we are a zombie, then server turn alive. So if we are a zombie, we turn into a human. If we're human, we turn into a zombie. So it should handle our live and living situation. I guess the only way I can test this is to do it this way. And yes, you guys are not going to see everything that's going on. I'm putting the server screen. I'm doing this for me. This is the client. He's running around. Everything is lovely. Server's going to say, I don't like you anymore. And the next thing we need to do is make sure we go back to our mesh. Character mesh, new, block all dynamic, yes. And try that Shiite again. So, client, hang out right here. Server. Shoots the client, and now he's a zombie. Why the hell did you do it twice? Let's actually turn. There we go. So we can see we are now that guy. Die again. Come back. You're still a fucking zombie. What the hell? Oh, because we didn't set this turn zombie, and we need to set is zombie to true. That would help. And then from here, do the same thing. Set is zombie to false. That might help. Alright, so we run over here, and here is our dude. He dies, his health bar goes down, comes back, he's a zombie. Why did I do the animation twice on my screen? So if you're a zombie and you die, figure that out. Die as a human, you come back as a zombie. You die as a zombie, you come back as a human. Alright. I guess I could test it to make sure that the client works. I don't know why, but I can jump. Can't change views. So it's fine for the most part. It's doing the animation twice, and let's see here. FPS view. It's directly running on server. Let's turn that off for now. May be affecting why the. There we go. Well, turn him into a zombie. Gonna have to take a look at the shooting system. Because it's not reliably hitting. But I can turn into a zombie. Weird. Weird. so the conversion process is working. Just gotta do some other smoothing on the replication. View stuff is fine. Multicast, fire weapon. It's doing its thing. Apply damage. I'm not sure if that's what the actual problem is here or not, because it's not consistently applying damage. Even though everything else seems to be working, the sound I don't think was working correctly, and that wasn't working correctly. So, shit. Just a check here. Let's do custom event, multicast, damage. I don't know if I can just run that and switch has authority on that one or not to simplify things, but let's do apply damage, and let's do a pass-through. Damaged actor, damaged base. I'm just going to plug everything in right here, even though I'm going to pass through. I never use a damage class, so I'm not worried about that for right now. And if we go through to that and do custom or maybe the any damage. I don't know if it's this part doing the damage or receiving the damage. So again, I'll just pass through. Don't need the target, just need the damaged actor, damaged base, instigator, and causer. Only ones I'm going to pass through. There's no need to do the target because it's and then do that. Except this probably may not be necessary to do, but let's try it anyway. Hit actor, we'll go to damaged actor, damaged base, let's put 25. What I normally do is 25, so it's 4 shot kills. So I don't know if this is a problem or not, but process of elimination. Yep, not it. Well, it only took about 750 shots. So, don't think that was the problem. So, I will undo this. And just put that shit back to where it was before. Apply damage. Put it back to 25. I don't know if maybe add the player controller in, so maybe that might be the issue. It's just a matter of troubleshooting. Again, it's probably on the damage side, the other side of this. It is not reliably transferring the damage. But if I come over here as a server, I can shoot the crap out of them, no problem. The double animation thing I'll have to look at also, but... Huh. Because that's fine. Prevent any damage is... Target is actor, authority only, the event only fires on the server. Okay, no problem, but... Does that not mean that there's a problem with this? This is... only executes on the server, which is no problem. Because that's a multicast event. And it's fired through with switch as authority to the multicast fire weapon, which is brought into right here. Can shoot is actually replicated, so that shouldn't be a problem. That should go right through. And let's verify that everything is replicated across the board. Replicates. Component replicates. That might help a little bit. Mesh. Component replicates. I don't know why this shit isn't on by default, you know? FPS camera replicate. Camera boom. Component replicate. I don't give a shit. Every damn thing replicate. I want everything replicated. So that should be a default. You would think that they would try to make this shit a little bit easier for doing multiplayer replication. Still not 100%. That's just weird. Okay. I see the human. And server sees. Okay, they both see it correctly. Server. Alright, client is a zombie. Okay. So if you die as a zombie, you come back as a human. Whenever you die as a human, you come back as a zombie. So that's fine, but the frickin' shooting is not registering 100% with replication. I don't know why. I'm just going to raise that to 50, so it only takes 2 shots, but... Damage causer. I mean, what the hell? I mean, do you need a self-reference? So, why is there a... You're not setting is dead to true. You're not triggering the animation until you're setting is dead to true. Is dead true? Yes, then do the death one. Is dead true? Play zombie death, that's fine. You get to the dead state. You make sure that the animation's complete. Go from dead back to idle. Not dead meat. So everything is there. I mean, but why the hell is it double playing the animation? I mean, they're obviously coming back correctly. And it's probably because of the set skeletal mesh. And in this case, since I'm actually changing that over, I should probably, instead of doing it this way, should probably run a montage to do it instead of doing this, because this and the delay at the end of the 3 seconds, it's then going to set that, which is going to reset the pose. Let's try unchecking that. Because it's resetting the pose here. So let's park home cheese here. Still don't get why the shooting is not 100%. So you know what? Screw it. Did not mean to do that. To do this, so we can see the client, and I don't care if you see the server or not. So he dies, falls down, does the animation, comes right back up as the zombie. Goes right back up as a human. Okay, that's fine. So that's what it was doing. Is the reason why I was double playing the animation is because whenever it changed the mesh, it turned it back into doing the animation again. Okay, so the basics of that is correct. It's then the attack system that I'm gonna have to fix, and I'm not worried about the shooting portion of it just yet, because I'm going to end up replacing that with a melee attack or short range attack, because I want you to basically, you're going over there and you're administering a cure, turning the zombie into a human. If you're a human, you're going over there, and that's what your task is, to convert them back to humans. If you are a zombie, your job is to attack them and turn your target into a zombie. Attacking other zombies doesn't do anything. So it ends up being team versus team, but yeah. Tonight's beverage of choice, whenever you've got a cold, ginger ale. I almost bought some of the real deal ginger ale, but it's an acquired taste. I like it, I really do. But if I wanted my loving mother to have some, I don't think her 70-plus-year-old palate could deal with real ginger ale. And if you're not familiar with true ginger ale, sorry, having ginger ale mixed with Alka-Seltzer Cold formula. If you're not familiar with real ginger ale, it tends to have a bit of a bite. Not that it's alcoholic or anything, it's just that it's a really, has kind of almost a burn to it. I've been drinking the real stuff, the real deal ginger ale, I mean, for years. I'm used to it. Place that I worked at, they had kind of a dare thing. They call it the one bite challenge and whatnot. But yeah, one of their challenges was, you know, to chug. The brand is called Blenheim, I believe. It's kind of a real type ginger ale. It's got that bit of a shock burn to it whenever you're drinking it. They weren't used to it, so you know, one of the guys, he chugged it. He got about halfway down to it, and he just couldn't take anymore. It was too much for him. I'm like, you're such a puss, weak ass. No, you think you're so good at it? I'm like, yeah. Cracked open one, chugged down the whole friggin' bottle, grabbed his bottle, and finished off his half. I'm like, that's some good shit, thanks. And walked away happy. And they're like, you suck. Yeah, well, you know, if you're not used to it, like I said, it's an acquired taste. So, cheers. Downside when you're doing this, it adds extra fizz. And when you're wearing glasses, and if you don't wait for it to stop fizzing all the way, it fizzes all over your freaking glasses. And hell, my glasses are filthy enough as it is. Alright, death portion is done. The application of death I will redo because the method of attacks will change. So I need to create bots to go along. So if you're on the civilian team, let's go ahead and create a duplicate here. We'll duplicate the we'll just call this bot underscore base. Since we've already done a lot of this stuff in here, we don't need do a multiplayer on this. Let's see, I believe I can take all of this stuff here and delete all of this. If you begin play, yeah, I can get rid of all this stuff. Yeah, everything else is working fine with replication and everything. The attack portion isn't replicating as well as it should, but I'm changing that anyway. So right now I don't even need that in here for the bot. They will do the attack, but I'll just kind of copy it over from the player. The only thing I really needed right here was the death sequence stuff. So I'd have a confirmed. I'll start here and oh, wait a minute. Bots don't need cameras. Alright, compost and save that shit. So yeah, so the whole purpose here was to be able to take and if you're a human, you stay whenever you die. If you're killed by, well, you can't be killed by another human. Let's go back in here. Well, we'll just do it this way. So right now, the only one I'm showing on the screen is the host, or the client rather. So you can see it's just not 100% on applying damage. Working on the player. Oh, well, see, it applied it for some reason now, but oh, I got to do the animation blueprint. Okay, never mind. So we'll come over here as the server. Let's actually show the client here. So that's the client. So whenever you die as a human, you come back as a zombie. Same thing for the bots. Yeah, I just got to go back in the animation blueprint and fix that really quickly. I don't see it's all the same shit here. So, let's drag it in from here. Dumb question though. Could I run this just off of a cast 2 character node instead of having to do cast a player, because they should all have the, because it's not going to find the variable. They all have the same freaking variable called isDead. So you would think that the damn thing would be smart enough to know to pull that freaking reference. That variable is the same freaking variable between both of them. Get isDead. I mean, the rest of it all is the same shit. I'll show you what I was doing here for the shooting. See if you can see what I was doing wrong on that. But So it's going to change anyway. It's just that death is replicating fine. It's just that player. No, I just did a straight duplicate because that's the bot. It's going to be separate. The player can either be a human or a zombie, and that's all going to be the same. Just kind of isolating them because I'm going to change the animations later. So there's, yeah. So left mouse button gets whether or not you can shoot or not, and that's replicated. So server fire weapon, which is the multicast. Well, the multicast here essentially is the usual shit for a line trace. Playing sound, applying damage. Well, yeah, but I didn't have him in the animation blueprint. They're using the same animation blueprint. It's just that I didn't have. I've put it in, taken it out, put it in, taken it out, like 3 times in the last 30 minutes. So, being an indecisive bitch tonight because I'm still fighting this damn cold. But not sure why the shooting is not replicating correctly. When it's not going to stay shooting, it's going to go into a kind of a melee ranged based stuff here, to where instead of it being a ranged attack system, it's going to be like a melee based, because the zombies, well, they're going to be trying to bite or whatever, and the alive players are trying to administer a cure. But for now, the damage is being applied with a line trace. Just, shooting for right now, just to get the point across that yes, I'm applying damage. I'm all set for advice. Just I'm just setting up the bot as basically a target practice dummy for right now until I get everything else sorted. And again, the attack system right now is currently set as a shooter, even though the shooting is not going to stay. Run on owning client. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I usually, whenever I start having these brain farts like that, I usually run through and check all the usual suspects. I just hadn't done it yet. I guess it doesn't matter the naming here. Run on server. Oh, run on OC. Shit, I can't even type tonight. Run on owning client. I just needed the attacks to work mutually. So let's actually take the server, even though they're all using the same freaking mesh right now. I guess I should change the mesh for the bots. So server just kind of chilling there. Come back over here. No, it's working even less now. It was occasionally before. Now it's not working at all. Still working for the server. Still haven't done any animations yet for anything besides the death. But yeah, this is totally not working at all. Yeah, usually I'm a bit more organized when I've actually had sleep and not heavily influenced by cold meds, or relying on excuses, either one. Run on owning client. We're in the line trace, but then am I going to need to split the applied damage, though? As multicast? Or... because it's not applying any damage whatsoever now, as it being the run on owning client to fire the weapon. That is totally not working. Is playing the sound? But not applying damage. Yeah, that's the story of my life. My whole logic needs to be reworked. Because I broke that off and redid that as a separate replicated event of applying damage. But when I had that set on multicast, it was doing it, just not 100%. So we put that back on multicast, come back in, and no, it's not doing it at all. Shit, it was working half-assed, and then as a multicast, I know it won't work at all if I do run on the server. Can shoot is replicated, is dead, and is a zombie needs to be replicated also, just in case. But so I plan on doing a melee damage at some point, but I'm just trying to get the basic functionality down. Base damage is 50. So it should be a 2-shot kill. It's up to you. I mean, I can sort it out later. And so this was just secondary, doing the damage portion. I was just finishing up on doing the death changeover. And I got that working just fine. I still have to figure out what I'm going to do for the actual attack. I don't know if I'm going to leave it as I know I'm probably not going to leave it as a line trace, because I think as for the human wise, you wouldn't want humans being able to do a ranged attack and then the zombies only being able to do a melee attack. So melee attack would be pretty much you got to get up in their face to actually do anything. It's just, like I said, this last week or so since I've been able to get no sleep, and I can't even talk right now either. Lack of sleep has just caused my brain to shut down. Things that I've done 100 times before, I've been screwing up lately because of lack of sleep. The whole friggin' project that I was working on before, that was starting to enjoy it and having fun with it, and the one with that the bot spawner, and hell, I got the sit down in a chair. Hell, I had it working perfect. The spawning system for turning on and off spawns was working perfect. My little demo map was okay, but I was almost done with a complete freaking map, and I was cleaning out hard drive space, getting rid of old projects, and I deleted the wrong freaking project, and I deleted that project by mistake. So I'm just kind of going through fighting the logic right now. Oh, that's cool. I appreciate it. Now I can save the link to it. Because if I do it right now, hell, I'm, you know, choking down 3 different cold meds. My usual cold pack, because I know it works. But it just takes a couple days to actually kick in. Or I didn't have any, and I figured whatever, and I hoped that it would just blow over and didn't take anything whenever it first started coming on. Usually, when I feel a cold coming on, I'll usually try to dope up on freaking vitamin C and vitamin D and vitamin C as in coffee. No, actual vitamin C, orange juice, emergency, or one of those things. Just kind of dosing up, trying to beat it before it kicks in. All right, I appreciate it. I'll probably kick out of this stream here since I'm at the 1 hour mark, and I'll hop over there in just a second and I'll watch it. Like I said, I was just trying to come up with the basic concept on this. I still don't know what I'm going to do for damage, and I kind of need to just kind of work out what I'm going to do, because I just started on this project and wanted to have it to where when you were human, you die, you come back as a zombie. And I got to set up the whole team damage thing, or if you're you're a player, you're a human, you can't damage other humans. If you're a zombie, you can't damage other zombies. So then I got to set up a whole team factions shit, and yeah. So I just started with this project, and I'm starting from something else, and I'm reverting it back and forth. But I'll hop over there and check it out in just a minute. And I recommend anybody else is watching, if you're not already subscribed to John, do it. Just go do it. I was giving you props earlier. I was looking at my because all the stuff we test back and forth, and was trying to delete things to make room. And hell, about half of these projects that's in here is your projects. All right, well, I'll check you over there in just a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and drop off this stream and go get another cup of coffee. Probably I got my ginger ale, but gotta wash down the Alka-Seltzer cold formula taste with something a little bit more than just ginger ale. All right, bud, we'll see you in just a minute. Everybody else, thanks for watching too.